me hear from you about what I did today. I want to hear your comments. I want to see if it's going to be useful. I want to know what you think. And I'd love to hear from every one of you today. Okay? Not just a couple. I'd like to hear from every one of you. Gary Cash, you're up first.
Bob, first thing I want to say is thank you because it made me realize that there's distractions in my life that I'm letting get in my way. And it made me realize some of these distractions I need to get rid of.
I understand. Let me ask you a question, Gary. Gary, is this something that's going to be meaningful for you to use over and over now and in the future for your
Absolutely. Absolutely.
good? That's what I wanted to know. I want to know what you thought about it. I want to know if it's going to be useful for you. Okay. Thank you,
I
Gary.
have one question.
Yeah,
Can I
go ahead.
ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so on your notepads, your spiral notepads, do you do what exactly do you put on each page? Do you put like I do? I put a note that I followed up on this date. I put notes on them.
Yeah, I've given a couple of trainings on that. I'm this year I'm
Okay.
going to specifically give how to build a list training and the spiral notebook. What you do is
Okay.
first of all, you put one name on each page. Then you come back, you put their cell number, their email address, their home address, if you know it. You will eventually fill all that out right at the very top few lines. Then the rest of it, you'll have your own little abbreviation, like, real money video. You put date dash RM. That means you shared the real money with them and you know the date. Date dash present. So you shared a 9-minute video with them. Then date dash wealth strategies, or date dash three-way Bob, or three-way George, or three-way who you did a three-way with them on that day, or uh, date that then you're going to put your you have everything you ever sent them, the $1.2 million mistake, the don't be cool, be wealthy, whatever you send them, you'll have your date and that. But you will have a complete page of every time you contacted them and gave and dripped on them and what you dripped on them with. So you can then fill in your drip. You can provide lots of drip material to them over a year's time, 2 years' time. But this is your pipeline. Now, when somebody joins, you just take a great big that earmark, you flip that earmark, you earmark that page, you put the date and a great big star, and if they join with a basic, a VIP, or legacy VIP. And what you want to end up with is a notebook full of earmarks. You follow me?
Yep.
And
Thank you.
that's how we do our lit. And that's why you need a spiral notebook and not this technical junk to use to follow up with. You need hard pipeline data that will make you go and look and go through that book, picking out who are your 5 follow-up contacts you're going to make today. So remember, follow-up contacts and peak interest contacts. And if you're doing 5 follow-ups and 5 peak interest a day, that really shouldn't take you, unless you're doing it personally, shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes a day. And if you keep doing that, you'll have the activity you need. You'll have the dripping you need to succeed. Here's the honest truth. I'll guarantee you that I may have only, out of my 30,000 plus people in my business, I may only have 5 people who are doing it right. You know that? I'll guarantee you. I mean, let's just say, Gary, are you doing that yet? Okay. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but hey, honesty is the best policy here. Are you doing what I just said yet?
not to the extent I should be.
Yeah. Okay. And that's honest. But see,
But
you
I'm doing it, but
know,
not to the extent.
yeah, you need to know what you need to do if you really want to take it to the next level. See, you cannot take it to the next level unless you're doing these things, unless you're just lucky. You get a good one on your left and a good one on your right. Okay. And that does happen to some people. It does happen to some people. But then you don't have a duplicable system that you can then teach that organization on your left and right, and it eventually dissipates. Eventually it does. I've seen people who I've taught to be successful. I've watched their businesses shrink because they're not teaching the system that I taught. I don't see my system duplicating enough for them to win big. And that's what I want. That's what I want for all of you. And even if you just get $500 a week as winning big, that's winning big in my book for a lot of people. Because there's nowhere else they could do this, have fun, accumulate wealth, and end up with $500 a week. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you,
Thank you,
brother.
Bob.
I
Okay,
have a question.
Gary Comfort. Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna call on. I see your hands raised. I'm calling them in order that they're there. Gary Comfort.
Oh,
I would echo what Gary was saying. 100% distractions have been distractions for me for 2 years, and my distractions are going to disappear. And yes, I will be utilizing this video over and over and over.
Did you see the big picture this time, Gary?
Oh, I've seen the big picture for a while. It's just I've been distracted.
Well, and it's a tool you can use. Hopefully, you can use to for years to come, not just now.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. Sandy, yes, ma'am.
Hi, Bob. Good morning. I have a question and a comment. First of all, a comment. When you were talking about if this had helped anybody, I just want you to know that I personally hear the passion and the compassion in your voice and in your words, and that helps me to stay positive because there's a lot of things going on in my life right now, but your words help me to stay positive, not in just 7K, but throughout everything. And I sure appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you too. And that's 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 what I mean by that. I care about each one of you. I truly care about each one of them. And I truly
And
care.
you can hear it in your voice. You really can. My question is, and I know I've heard you say it before, but can you re-say, how can you utilize social media to get uh, new prospects?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for me because I don't use social media, Sandra. Now I teach y'all the basics that 7K provides, like the vault and the vault builder, and to become members of that, and where things are and how to add, tag, and message. I mean, I do teach that for because I know a lot of people uh or own social media a lot and use social media, but that's a slower process than my process. My process is from circles of influence to circles of influence to circles of influence. And that's always worked and it always will work. And it creates a closer community because social media, there's a there's this always this distance, even from people who know each other, but people who physically have never met each other except on social media, they're truly strangers. And my cold prospecting works a lot better that I teach using the splash page and the landing page, creating your own uh, 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 what is it, funnel by, passing out 1,000 of these cards that I made available for people with the QR codes
Mhm.
every year minimum. It'd be better if a person passed out 1,000 every 6 months, okay? Because you're creating your own funnel, and people, and you could use this. I taught one use of it in social media. You could actually take a picture of your card and post it in your social media. You can DM people with it. You could do that. But I'm not big on teaching the how to succeed through social media. I think there are other people that teach that. I haven't seen too many people actually teach it in 7K, uh, but uh, I've seen other systems that are teaching it, and I know some technical people in my organization. Uh, I just hadn't seen a lot of success out of that technique to build a business, that to encourage me to learn about it and teach it for duplication. And so until I see that happening, I'm going to stick with my system and encourage everybody that's on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and those things. Yeah, go ahead and participate in the things, and it's just an incremental way of another way of getting more contacts and making another contact. But I wouldn't depend it on as the building business technique. I would not. Okay. But that's my
Okay, thank you so very much.
bet anytime, Sandy. Thank you so much too. Okay. Donnie White. Yes, sir, brother. Unmute. You're
Good
up.
morning, Bob. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, no, I'll just come flat out and I use the excuse I work 55, 60 hours a week. And you said earlier you found the time to do it. That's all I need to do is just get off my butt. And I need to find somebody to hold me accountable. I was in another network marketing company and I said, I'm gonna do this for 90 days, go on a 90-day run. And very successful. Moved up 2 levels just in that 90 days. And my challenge though, Bob, is this. When you say, you got the person, they watch the video, everything you send them, and you get to get on the three-way. You know who my upline is. And unfortunately, you taught them and they're not doing what you're doing. So
I knew, and that's what I've said. That's why I'm leapfrogging over people who or who had success, and they had it when they were working with me, and I was the one teaching the system because they didn't even know it, but then they have success, and now they're not teaching. They're doing their own thing. That's a wrong thing to. I'm gonna just be very honest. That's a wrong thing to do. That's creating a new wheel.
right.
Well, they weren't successful. They weren't successful with their own mind technique of how to build before. So just because they got success with me while I'm using my system in building with them, and then they go turn around and say, well, I mentioned something about edification. We don't have enough edification in our side of the business. I think that's going to come. That'll come with the maturity of the company and maturity of leadership. But Donnie, you get people on your three ways in your leadership team that works the way you work. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get with you offline, and we'll have to figure something out there because
since you succeeded in network marketing before, you already know it can be done.
right.
There's no better network marketing opportunity. And let me tell you, you told me about your time. And so it's not just you, everybody else is getting the benefits because there's other people in your shoes too, Donnie. So I'm kind of using you as an example to teach them too. I'm going to tell you in 1991, when I was a top level corporate executive, uh, uh, and from 91 to 94, I was a global product manager for a division with a Fortune 50 company. I traveled all around the world. Then it gave me a new division to develop and build because I had all the contacts around the world, but we had no business. So I'm going to tell you, when I was doing network marketing first time, part time, I was working 60 to 65-hour weeks.
Mhm.
I made time. I made a priority of time. I scheduled in my time that I would be learning. I scheduled in my time, and many of it was late at night. Trust me, my wife was in bed sleeping. Okay,
Right.
I scheduled my time when I was going to pique people's interest and follow it up, but I stuck to my schedule because I knew that's the only way that I could build a team that would give me leverage that in the years to come that I wouldn't have to work that hard.
Yeah.
And it did. It paid off big time. I
Yeah.
mean,
The old do today what others won't, so later on you can have what others can't.
hey, and do you know who coined that? That's a Bob Reid coin. You look it up on the internet. Everybody copied me and claimed I coined that in 1996. That was my statement. My team presented me with little plaques, and we presented other people with it because I said that all the time because that's what I did the first time in network. I will do today what others want so I can have tomorrow what others can't.
Right.
You look that up
I
on
always thought that was a Jim Rohn or Zig
there's
Ziglar or
some
somebody.
sports enthusiasts that claim that they said that. And you look at the date that they said it. My date precedes them.
Wow. Okay, Bob. Well, okay, Bob. So I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna shoot you a text and maybe we can
Yeah,
offline
you
it.
can shoot me a text. Anybody. Yeah. Everybody shoots me text. That's okay. I'll shoot you.
Okay.
We talk offline. Okay.
Okay. Appreciate it, Bob. Thanks.
You bet.
Hey, Bob. One last thing I want to say. You're right. This is so simple, and I, for the life of me, I can't figure out why people don't do it either. You know, get your 100 names and then 500 names and use the 7 pieces of paper. I've never had anything like this, and I guess just getting kind of beat up in the other company a little bit that you know, everybody's got a comfort level, and yeah, I think that's why some people go off the system that they originally had because you know they got to where they're comfortable. And I've seen that a lot in this industry. I've been in the industry a long time. And it's time for me to shine. So I appreciate it, Bob, and thank you very much. And I'll be giving you a call.
Appreciate you too, Donnie. Thanks so much for the comments and discussion. Rebecca, yes, ma'am. Come on in.
Hey, Bob. So you know that I'm not in your
That's right,
group.
Donnie. Yeah.
But yes, this is going to help me. And here's why. I don't know if anybody else has the same thing. I've been in 7K, been a member for over 5 years. And I originally started listening to you. You know that. But I felt I had to be loyal to my uplighter when I finally found who that was. But I don't relate to the way that person teaches because I've heard it all in other businesses I've been in. I've heard all that. Yours was different. So I keep trying to gravitate back to you, but I think, okay, I got to be loyal here to mine. And then I gravitate back to you. And I've just finally made a decision. I have to stick with one thing or the other. I'm bouncing around and everybody's teaching things differently, but I relate to what you do and how you teach. So yes, this is going to help because I really think I don't have a large team. There's like 27 active people. But I think for me going forward, this is where I have to be.
Well, that's a great start. I'm going to tell you, 27 active people is a great start to exponentiate from. And Roberta, look, other people in the company, uh, there's other people that came in before me and they used my system to teach their people. Okay. There's other people that's not in my downline like you that they've chose to use my system instead of their sponsor or their leader. And
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is I can't do three ways with you. Okay.
I understand. Yeah.
But I want everybody else here to understand why, and other people that might not be, is the reason that I can't do it is because you're people that would, the new person we're doing a three-way, they come into your team, they'd expect me to do three ways with them too, and then their team.
Right.
And then I don't have time freedom. Well, I've got over 30,000 people in my own group that I have to schedule in three ways with. So it's not fair to my other team, but you can do three ways with your successful leaders
Mhm.
above you. And just find those that do three ways that you agree with, that their tenor, their mindset, their speak is uh, more in line with your own mindset and and manner. And
Okay.
that'll make a good three-way. They may not be a big leader, but they could be anyone that has more success than you right now that you're in their line. Okay. So they're interested in your success. And that's part of what I teach in my group is that I can't have 30,000 people coming to me. I want them to go to their sponsor or their leader they're working with, and then we have like a 1, 2, 3 punch. And then when they need me, they can bring me in. Or if the contact is of a high level contact, a person that has a very large sphere of influence, well, yeah, my people want to engage me as soon as possible then with them, and 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 that's like a priority call with me, and you'll find a leader like that, Roberta, in the group. There'll be somebody. If it isn't, if
Unfortunately,
it
Bob,
isn't,
unfortunately, I do not. I
if,
have one main person, and
yeah,
that's about
let's
it.
let's don't use names. But if it isn't,
No, I'm not. I'm
the
not using names.
yeah,
But
I understand.
so my
If
question,
it isn't,
I do question.
if it isn't, you become that leader, okay?
That's
And
what
then you
that's
can.
what I was exactly going to say. I have to step up and do that. And I feel confident enough now that I can do that. But my question is this video that you just did that I absolutely love, and yes, I want to use it. When would you suggest sharing this with a certain person? You obviously don't want to do it with a brand new person,
No,
but
I made this to accommodate a new person, a person has
oh,
been.
okay.
Yeah, this is your vision video. This is where
Okay.
this could be used even if they haven't decided to grab a membership. Let's say you've taken them through all the processes of peak sharing, you've done everything you can, and they just won't pull the trigger and grab a membership. You say, you know
Okay.
what? I want to share with you the big picture that I heard, and it's from one of the top leaders in the company. Uh, just take some time. It's a little long, but you know what? It gives you the information you will need. So watch it from beginning to end, and then you share that link. It's going to be on YouTube. As you know, I put my trainings not just in my band apps, but I put them on the YouTube too, so that you and other people in the company who like the way I train can use my trainings also with their group. I have three other leaders in this company that are not in my group. They use my training system and building system. That's what they teach too.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you very, very much for allowing me to
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Your success is all of our success. We all succeed. As we all help the company succeed, and we all succeed. Okay. And I'd love to do three ways with you. It's just not the right thing to do. And I appreciate your understanding of that. Thank you so much, Roberta. Dwayne, yes, sir, Brother Beck.
Hey, Bob. It's been a while. And I tell you, I really
Understand it.
the training today. Because I have been out of touch. So there's some things that you brought out that I really wasn't aware of or didn't completely understand. So it helped me tremendously. I think you said it was a whole ball of wax, and it was, and that's what I needed to see today. So it was perfect.
Oh, great. I'm so glad, Dwayne, that helped you. And glad to see you back, brother. And I'm here. You need me. I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Okay. I think Keith, you had your hand up. You can't unmute. I know it's frustrating. There you
There,
go.
Bob. I'm sorry. So I don't know what was going on. Technology. Bob, yeah. Just for those that are listening, it's a little over 2.5 years now for me with you and the team and all that. But the big thing for me, you're painting a big picture, because whenever I have conversations with people, people want to say, "Oh, the network marketing, all that." You're conveying to me that I can convey to people. This is unique for a lot of reasons. Gold and silver will always be here. I have no problem. I am not shy to tell people about this, because if they don't want it, they got to get the brain checked a little bit, because we're in a very precarious time right now. And so for you to paint the big picture is really important to help because one of your things was your 7 pieces of paper was the belief system. This helps build the belief system. This is real. This is something you need to do, and you need to not be shy about telling it. And so you do that very well, and I appreciate it. And so that's why this will be important for me going forward with people.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much, Keith.
All right.
Gary Caps. Yes, sir. I see you came back.
I did.
Okay.
After you said how we are helping each other, it didn't matter where we were at. It reminded me of the one of the biggest reasons I signed up at Cocoon when I was around you. And I was around the people, because everybody loved God, everybody loved the country, and everybody was in help mode. Nobody was competing. I just want to thank you for helping everybody too, because that's been a huge, huge asset in my life.
Yeah, and ours too. George and ours. We always speak fondly of the first time we met you in Cancun. You and man, I'll tell you what. Sometimes you get a brain freeze. I know those young people, they don't get brain freezes like I do, but George and I have been experiencing them lately. I don't want to embarrass George. That George and I have been experiencing them lately. George and Woodrow are the first two people I sponsored, and they're both older than me. Yeah, but uh, we we love you and Carmen, and y'all have been a great addition to our lives, just like everybody else is. We building family and community. It's an extended family that we all have here, and if we work together in a context like that, we'll all help one another and grow with one another, and make each other uh, all that God intended us to be. We have an opportunity for that to happen. Hey, look, Anita, I actually really do need, I promise, to go to work. on 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 the things I showed y'all today. I need to get to work myself because I need to try and take advantage of what's in my hands and quit just ignoring it myself. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all ever so much. And y'all have a blessed day. Finish off the rest of Saturday with what you can maximize your income based on what your business hub is telling you and the data you can find in your Downline Explorer. Thank y'all. Have a great and blessed day.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. You
Thank you.
too.